What's good, everybody? You're listening to the Glow Up Podcast. We're recording remotely, but we are still a part of the Soundcasting Network here in Seattle, Washington. I'm Miss Casey Carter.
I'm Naomi Raven.
And we want to remind everybody to rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Follow us at the Glow Up Cast. We've been doing lots of stuff, so make sure to follow us on all social media platforms to keep up. And also make sure you're subscribed to our email list because we got new goodies in there. We're dropping exclusive deals only for our Glow Gang. So if you're not signed up, all you got to do is hit one of our link in bios, sign up, and you'll get those deals right in your inbox. We're so excited about that. We're also excited because we got our girl Jazmyn with us, Jazzy Red. It's been such a long time. You guys, if you're a loyal listener, you know that Jazmyn has been on the show plenty of times. She's great. She's amazing. And she has something really new and really exciting that they just launched this week that had me super hyped. So we're excited to have you back, girl.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Sorry, I'm in LA still. I live here and I can't control the outside. Like I'm trying to mute it, but it's LA stuff. But yes, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so glad that the show's back and I can be your host or guest host today. I'm excited.
Yes. Well, before we get into everything, we want to go down the list of announcements. We just launched this new amazing feature on our socials. It's called Glow Gang Spotlight. So we're also giving you guys the opportunity to sign up and be featured. So again, go into our link in bio. It's all there. And you can sign up to be potentially featured. I mentioned the discounts. And then what else do we have, Naomi? Something new that we launched during the break.
So we are on YouTube. You don't have to just tap in the day that we live record. You now have access to all the videos, all the gems, all the advice from amazing past guests. So there's no reason to miss out now.
I know. I'm so excited to last week to upload our first episode. It looked really good. So yay, we're official. We're making things happen. We're glowing up in 2021. Well, again, Jazmyn, she's been a past guest, but the big reason why I was like, we have to get her on the show to talk about this. She's here to talk about BLKWINS. It's a new platform creating space for people to learn about the abundant contributions of Black Americans in this country. And I'm glad that you guys kicked it off in Black History Month, but this is going to be something that's going to be going on forever. So I'm really excited to talk about it. But let's get into our weekly wins and lessons. Naomi, what happened with you this week?
I was going to say it's kind of like a lesson and a win. I would say this week, forgiveness was just presented to me that it needs to be done because it's not done for other people. It's done for yourself. When you don't forgive, you hold on to that anger, that resentment, and then you don't get to be 100% you because you're angry at someone because you haven't given that chance to forgive. And so this week, my lesson and my win is choosing to forgive despite, circumstances so that I can move on and be a happy me,
Don't it be feeling so good?
It does. It's like a weight just lifts because it doesn't mean that everything's all good and everything's all cool, but you've chosen to take that bitterness in your heart out.
And it takes time to get there, though. Yes. That's the thing. You got to do it at the right time. But once you're there and you make it happen, it'd be feeling so good. You be feeling like 10 feet tall.
Right?
I'm happy for you, girl.
Thank
you.
You.
This week, I received this amazing DM. I'll share it on our socials, but it was from an independent artist who just thanked me for the tools that I've been providing and that they're actually using my website to prepare their new launch. And it was just, they weren't asking for anything. All they did was just hit me up, complete stranger, just to thank me for what I do for them. And that just, it felt so good because that's what I do it for. I don't do it for recognition. I don't do it, for anything else but to be a person, what I needed when I was on the come up. So it felt really good to have that. And then another little win that we had this week was I've been, hyping it up. Jarv dropped his new single in collaboration with the producer Bad Colors. So I'm really excited about that. It's a new sound, and he's been holding on to it for a little while, and he's been finally able to let that go. The song dropped last week, and the video just dropped on Friday. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to do that. It's called why don't I know the name of the scene? Feeling like, oh my God, brain fart. I'm old. Okay, yes, check that out. Bad Colors, Feeling Like. Jazmyn, do you have any wins or lessons that you want to share with us?
Yeah, you know what? I've been going through like a journey, like a growth journey. I turned 30 this year, so I feel like, different. It feels different, But this week I just kind of felt like people were getting on my nerves, and I was like, is it me? Because I know it can't always be everybody. Like I'm okay understanding like it could be me. I could be on my own thing, But when I sat back and I reflected and I thought about it, I'm like, no, like it really is not. It's not me, it's them. And I would ask like Tay, my boyfriend, I'd be like, is it me? He's like, no, I mean, that wasn't cool. And I'm like, okay. So I ended up, I'm one of those people I really want to just like, I don't like awkwardness. And I always vow to myself, like, I don't want to make things awkward. I'd rather just get it out. If we're friends, then I should be able to talk to you, And so I let both of them know, and one responded in a way that was like, okay, like, I'm glad that we got over this, and the other one, and I was like, okay, but I'm glad we got that out there, so I got lessons this week for sure. And it helped me self-reflect because I was like, I had to, because I was like, is it me that's tripping? But no, they realized they were tripping, and one was more like, well, you're still tripping. I was like, oh. And the other one was like, you know what, you're right on, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, so yeah, I feel like I had some growth into this week, because normally I'd be like, F them, I don't want to talk to them, like, like I'm cool. But I was like, nah, like I don't want to be like that no more. Like, I'm grown. We should be able to have grown conversations and, get past it. Or if we're not going to be friends, and that's okay too, So kept a friend
I love
last
your
week.
guys' lessons this week. They're so like real.
Yeah.
Bomb. I love it. You guys, the growth is there.
The growth, yes, ma'am.
Well, what's everybody? Let's get into our vibe check. Jazmyn, is there anything that you're vibing with right now?
Yes. Okay. Do you guys watch Your Honor on Showtime? I think it's on Showtime.
I've heard about it. Everyone like talks about it.
Tell me more.
Every week there's no shows right now really on that like I'm really like keeping up with like that, except for that one. Like every Sunday I'm like, oh, I gotta watch it. So
a Sunday show?
Yes, it's a Sunday show. It's about about a boy. They live in New Orleans. It's a white boy, and his dad is a judge, and he had an asthma attack and accidentally hit a kid on a motorcycle. And so the kid ends up dying, and then because the kid, the son was really nervous, didn't know what to do, he threw the phone, like just lost it. And so then he comes home, he ends up telling his dad, the judge, and when they were like, we gotta go tell the police. So when they go to the police station, they find out it's like the biggest mob boss's son in all of New Orleans. Yes.
Oh, I'm sold.
An Italian mobster, drug dealer, So he's like, well, we can't tell. So they frame it, and they get some people involved. It's real like dirty cop stuff, but it's really like, it's interesting because the guy that plays the judge is the dad, is Walter White from Breaking Bad. So he's always playing this character that's trying to do good, but does terrible things. So he's trying to save his son, but then he gets this black kid killed because they framed him.
Girl, don't tell us everything.
That's it. That's what I'm telling you. That's it. That's it.
I was sold when you said mob boss's son.
I didn't want to say like the white boy without saying like, then like, it turns into a race thing. It's like a big thing.
Oh yeah, nah.
Yeah, it's that really good.
I need that.
Yeah,
okay.
It gives me my weekly anxiety attack, but I love it. I love it.
Since Power been gone, I need that. So that sounds. Thank you. You were the last cosign I needed. Okay. Naomi, what are you vibing with?
It's called the 21 Day Equity Challenge, and it's being put on by United Way of Pierce County. I signed up because my mom had sent it to me, which I'm super happy that she did, because every day they're sending you like articles, podcasts, videos, all focused on racial issues, race, like conversations that you generally wouldn't choose to, dive into or explore a little bit more. And so it's just been really fun being able to open up my perspective. Like the first question was like, what is race to you? And like, why do you define it the way that you define it? And so it's really just kind of opened me up, and I'm really loving everything that they're sending, because I can listen, I can watch, or I can choose to read. You have tons of options so that you're not bored. So if you guys want to, tap in, it's not too late.
Yeah.
You can join it anytime. Like they provide you a log and stuff. So it's just been really cool.
Send us the information, and then we'll make sure to share that as well. That sounds really dope. Shout out to Pierce County for that.
Yeah.
Are they doing it just for Black History Month, or they've been doing this since January? Oh, okay.
No, it's like February 1st to March 2nd.
Okay. I like that. Well, this is a repeat, but I gotta like be specific. Y'all know I love my horrible trash TV. Married at First Sight. I shouted that out in 2020. Love it. Great show. But this new season, it's in Atlanta right now, and they're filming it during the pandemic. But obviously, everybody's hitting up Atlanta because Atlanta is just open as fuck. And they got this guy on there who is just horrible. Like, I can't believe what I be watching. Like, let me just tell you. Okay, so I'll just say this, if this don't get you guys. So there's this guy on there. He's a fuck boy, like certified fuck boy, and they don't usually have sex on the first night. Like they just met. Like they literally meet when you walk down the aisle in this show, and this girl lets him hit twice. That's her husband, and then he like ghosts her for the morning. It's so crazy. No. Like this show, past seasons, it's messy all the time. There is real love sometimes. Like the New Orleans season just had me in tears all the time because it was just real love. It was so cute. But this new season, if you're looking for something juicy to watch, it's on Lifetime, I believe. Married at First Sight in Atlanta. Enjoy, y'all. It is trash at its finest. Well, all right. Well, Jazmyn, again, let's catch up. Thank you again for taking the time. And how have you been since the pandemic hit?
I've been up and down and like all around, like my emotions, and I honestly feel like this was the last year was just a year of discovery. Like I just learned a lot about myself, and I think a lot of people did. You're kind of forced to because you're stuck in your house. Thankfully, I was an essential. I still am an essential worker, so I was working from home since last April. But just like the workload and like what they're having us do, like it didn't make sense. And we weren't getting paid more. We were just getting more work, and I'm in property management for my day job. So, as you can imagine, renters and people and owners and just dealing with different people on different ends, with this crisis that we're dealing with, that was a lot. Then with like the rioting, like that was a lot. I went to one in LA. That was the last one I went to because I don't know if you guys saw the videos, but it was a lot. Like people were getting shot with big rubber bullets by police. The city was destroyed. It looked like Armageddon, honestly. So it honestly just really scared me. I was like, these look like the end of days. I was like, I don't know. Very purge like over here. Like they were destroying like everything. Then, continue on. I'm just like, I went through like a depression for a little bit because I was just like, I don't know, like what is life, And then I got bounced back and I was like, okay, we good, I went home for the holidays. That was good. I needed that. Like I really needed my family, like seriously. And then came back, got COVID. So I had that for 2 weeks. That was very interesting. Like I felt like that was like the cherry on top for 2020 for me. Even though it happened in January, I was like I'm not surprised anymore of anything. Like it was very terrible. I don't wish that on anyone. And then I quit my job because I needed more money and I needed more. I wanted to just grow within myself. So I found a new position that actually paid what I asked for. Honestly, you guys, I was praying hard, like, God, don't even give me an interview if it's not for the company for me. I applied for like 15 jobs, one called me back. So I was like, this must be it, like, and the interview was great. The manager, she's great. They made me do like 4 interviews. I met like 4 different people of the company. They loved me. I loved all of them. Like, just everything. Like, we felt the same energy. Like, this is good, And then I kind of got skittish when I signed the contract to start it. I went there and I was like, okay, God, one more sign. Let me know. And then I went in there and I wore my hair natural now. Every time I did an interview, it was like this. So it's like, let's see if, they're okay with the fro, with my little curls and stuff. She was like, your hair is so beautiful. I was like, yes, like I could be myself here. Like, I was just so excited. I was so excited.
I'm so happy. Like I'm so emotional. I will cry right now. I'm so happy for you.
Girl, I have cried, I'm like, thank you, God, so much, and it's just been, like I said, up and down, just roller coasters, different things going on. Like, this 2020 was crazy for everybody, but like, for me, I just know it firsthand because it's me, and I just really saw like everything that went down, and I finally feel happy that I start Tuesday. I'm just so excited, and I quit because I wanted to be able to do BLKWINS, and I needed a weekday off to actually like focus, and this new job, I only have Mondays off. So like everything I needed and asked for. So that's what's been going on here.
Well, you brought up BLKWINS. Give us a little bit of like what it is.
So BLKWINS is a passion project for me, my younger brother Aaron, Perry Porter. He's a painter from Tacoma, as well as Chris Lee Hill. We all are from Spanaway. Ironically, we all went to school together at one point, except for Aaron. He's younger than us, but we were not friends. We did not know each other like that. And then, like, through fate, we all just met, and we during the protests. I started feeling, like I said, I didn't feel comfortable going to another one just because I was like, this is like, I want to do something, but this is unsafe for me, and my brother was going to protest in Tacoma, and he was like feeling like they were for a cause, but sometimes he felt like some people were just there just to hang out, like not really there to fight for, civil rights for Black people in America, So he came up with the idea. He saw something on YouTube and it kind of like sparked an idea for him to do with Black history. So he hit me up and he's like, hey, me and Perry have been talking about something, like, would this be something you'd be interested in joining? And I'm like, yeah. So we got Chris, and it is a platform, you already said it, but a platform for people to learn about the abundant contributions of Black Americans in this country. And this is a year-round thing. So we're going to there's like a clip that we show in our on our promo video to kind of just show like what we're going to be doing, but we couldn't do the full thing because we filmed this during COVID. We filmed that I want to say May or June of last year. And so this is like a long time coming. Like, this is like, almost a year of preparing and stuff. But we're going to be going to places, like going to, where Black Wall Street was, or going to where, things that took place in history actually happened, and walking the streets. We're going to be doing our research and interviewing people that are still alive today and open to talk about, these things and these experiences that they had, so that we can share it with everybody. Because there's so many hidden gems of history that the history books are not teaching, especially with Black history. We get a month, and I think people forget that Black history is American history. Like, the White House was built by slaves. A lot of people don't know that kind of stuff, so it's just like there's a lot of beautiful things that have come from Black Americans, but people don't know. So that is why we wanted to make sure to kind of just highlight Black wins and not just so much Black struggle. But that's a lot of what we see is, slavery, civil war, those types of things with troubles. But we are trying to highlight the good things and the things that often get mistaken, taken for granted or overlooked. So yeah, that's what that is.
So you brought up your team, and I want to ask, you guys are all in different places.
Mm-hmm.
How are
Yeah.
you guys working on a single project all together?
So we use Google Meets, and we meet twice a week, and so it kind of looks like this, and then we like share our screens and like do different things like that, and that's really been helpful for us. But a few times I did fly back home, and then when we had a whole tragedy, this was actually supposed to come out in December, but we did some last minute research, and we actually had a name that like 3 other groups had, and we were like, crap, we don't want to be difficult to find, and get mixed up with other people. There was one that had the same name that was pretty spicy. They were like often imitated. We were like, we don't want any beef, we were just trying to keep it all. Like, we're doing the same thing, So we were like, okay, we got to switch it up. So we ended up doing it in February because I had gotten sick in January. So I had to re-record everything. Like everything that said the old name, I had to re-record. So I was doing that here in LA in my apartment. And if you can hear background noise, I'm sorry, but that's the type of stuff I was having to deal with too in between recordings. So I was like, like I would have a good take and then bang, bang, bang. I'm like, oh my God. So it's been nuts. But yeah, we meet virtually. Yeah.
So now getting people to like get behind something, I mean, I'm sure you've known throughout the whole entire process, it's like getting people to believe in something and be a part of something is hella difficult. So what are some of like the things that you guys are doing to get people to rally behind what you guys are doing right now?
Well, so far we are kind of trying to get this to be like an educational program. So we're trying to also like talk to more people who are in a position to speak to kids and just get their opinion, what they're interested in learning more about it. Because when I was younger, I didn't learn about Black history. Like we had a day or two that we talked about something that wasn't even right, and being Black and being raised in a Black household, like we knew what was real and what the books were teaching us. So some of the struggles that we have is probably just wanting people to also know that it's not just for Black people. Like we want everyone to know this is for people, like everyone to learn about it. And I think America, once we saw what happened with George Floyd and what we saw when they stormed the Capitol, all white people stormed that Capitol, and not anything at these peaceful Black Lives Matter rallies happened there. Like they tore it up, and so it's like they didn't go to jail. Nothing like that happened to them. They weren't getting shot. They weren't getting, beat up by police, none of that. So I think America is in a, people that are open to being in that place, to accept different views and different history lessons. That's one thing. But I think that we got a really good response with our posts recently because we had a lot of people that were like, wow, I never learned this in school. Like, this is awesome. And I was like, wow, like people that were like white and people that were Asian and people that were, like don't have like, African roots or whatever, like everyone was very, like we got a very good response. And I was just like very thankful because that was one thing I was thinking, like I don't want people to just think it's for Blacks. Like I want everyone to know that this is for you too.
There's there's like a little clip. Do you guys know that guy who did the little memes where he's like Jermaine, where he's like he loves J. Cole? Do you guys know? And he just did the recent skit about LeBron James. Did you guys see that? I'll share it with you guys, but it's funny because he's talking about like what we're taught in school and like Black history, and it's like, okay, Martin Luther King had a dream, Rosa Parks said no. Now moving on to Anne Frank, da 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 da.
Yes.
And it's like when you think about that shit. I mean, for me, I'm an Asian American woman, so like I didn't grow up like I'm just as blind. So just knowing all this stuff, it's like, damn, that's really the bullshit that they fed us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's beautiful to see what you guys are doing now. Sorry, Naomi.
No, you're okay. I kind of want to ask you a hard question.
Okay.
If you were able to teach one lesson, one sole lesson, to be heard, one video, like what would that be? What would you want to put out? What would you want people to hear and take in about Black history?
That is a good, hard question.
Naomi.
You know what? If it was anything that I would want people to know is that we are resilient. I think that a lot of times people think that, oh, they don't understand the struggle, like of what the plight of Black people, that what we've been through. They don't think they understand how bad it really was. They don't, because I was doing research, and there are books that teach children that slaves were indentured servants or doing chores, or they're not teaching them that mothers that were slaves weren't able to feed their own children. They had to breastfeed the white slave masters' children, with their own breast milk. Like they're not able to feed their own children. And I just want people to really know that when you judge Black people, know that we are resilient people. Like we've been through hell and back, and yet still we are here. And I think that's one major thing that I want people to really understand is that, like, I don't know a country that's done this to their own people, because we are now African Americans. I don't think that they understand what really went on. And that we're not going to focus on the negative things, but we're going to focus on the positive. But the truth is there were negative things that happened in the midst of our positivity. Black Wall Street was a thriving city for 15 years until it was burnt to the ground by jealous racism, white supremacists. But yet a year later, it was rebuilt. People don't know that it was rebuilt, a year later, so I think that those are, I think I gave a little plug of what might be the next episode, but we are very resilient people, and we're very strong, and no matter what is thrown at us, like, we don't quit. We are the lemonade makers when we were given lemons.
Yes.
Now, I know that this is very educational, but there's ugly truths. I know that it's also like highlighting the wins, but like how graphic or how raw is this going to be?
That's very interesting that you asked that, because we have a meeting. We have a meeting every Friday night, and that was one of the things that we talked about. Like when I said to them, like, we can't ignore the things that happen, because that would be fake news. Like, that's real. Like, these are real things that happen. Like, we can't just be like, oh yeah, I got bombed, but like, no, like, we have to tell the truth. And I don't think that because we want to aim it to children, I think we're going to more so tell it than show it. Because children, I feel like they have an imagination. So let that imagination do what it needs to do with these words that I'm telling you, rather than me painting a picture for you that might not even be as accurate as it possibly could be, And we're trying to dig and find, like, artifacts, trying to have museums that are closed. We're emailing and asking them, like, can we open just to have us be in there for a day? And just get the footage that we need to show for these kids and people to learn. But I mean, it's not just for kids, I mean, I'm 30, I'm learning as I do this as well. But yeah, it's like you said, like, a lot of this stuff is ugly, and with us focusing on the positive, we do have to identify the ugly. I think we're just gonna kind of speak on it and let people kind of think with their own minds, because we want people to be able to review how they can. If they want to read something, we're gonna, like, kind of like how Naomi said that you have that project. We're kind of making it like that. If you want to watch on TikTok, cool. We're gonna make like a 1-minute video for you to get a quick little education. If you want to watch the full 10-minute video, we're gonna put that on YouTube for you to watch. And also, if you want to see a full interview that I've done with somebody, like, that was a historical figure or someone that's a family member, you're going to be on the you can watch the full interview too, because we want to make sure that we are fully transparent as well. That's one thing that we want. We're going to show sources, we're going to show transparency. So we're just trying to make sure that, you know, everyone knows that we're all in a learning experience on this quest to find the truth, but also, you know, we got to keep it kind of PG for the internet, like certain internet, you know, outlets that we're going to be using. Yeah.
So, you know, we've got to get some tips and advice from you now.
Okay.
What are 3 keys to successfully producing content?
3 keys. First, I would say, if you're doing something with a team, because this is a team thing that I'm doing, if you're doing something with a team, make sure you have people that have the skills that you're looking for. Looking for. You know, if you want to do something with film, get you somebody that can do the film. You know, just build you a solid team of what you need. You know, because people can't do things on their own. You know, you can try, but you're going to wear yourself out. You know, be okay with working in a group, but get a solid team. Also, I would say taking surveys, kind of just that's number 2 now. Surveys. Number 2, surveys. Survey what is needed. You know, ask people, get advice to kind of like tweak your content to be so engaging that people will want to watch, you know, or people will want to listen depending on what your content is. But yeah, and then number 3, I would say be patient. Patience is everything. I know we've heard that forever, but like timing is everything. And if anything taught me that, 2020 did. Just because everything happens for a reason. And just being patient and consistent. I guess patience and consistency is something that can go together, because you have to be patient with what you're expecting, but also you have to, you know, continue to do. If you have that vision and you have a team, other people are going to have that vision with you. You know, you just have to keep continuing to push it out and promote and give people what they need, you know. And we found something that people needed, which was educational Black history, but in a fun way. You know, we got Kanye West beats in the back and, you know, just popular music to keep people engaged, but that's what people need. That's what feels good, you know, something you can like vibe to while you're reading the screen, you know, like you're like, oh, okay, you know, something like that. So I guess that would be my advice right there.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen the video yet, it's so polished, it's so great. Like I feel like this would be something on TV already. So
Yes.
it looks great. Now, please tell us how we can support this.
Yes. So we're doing a GoFundMe. We have a $10,000 goal. That is so that we can have, you know, some of the best equipment. Right now, we're using all of our own personal equipment. So it would be very helpful if all of us have jobs on the side, all of us have careers, you know. So we would want new equipment in case something breaks or something goes down, you know. Like I said, also too, we're traveling. So we're going to be needing, you know, assistance with helping us to get, you know, all of our equipment and just everything together. So $10,000, it's not an easy thing without funding. So we are definitely asking for donations. We have a GoFundMe. I believe it's if you just go to GoFundMe.com and just search BLKWINS, like BLKWINS, you should be able to find it. I think it's like BLKWINS and then like the hyphen a Black History Project. You should be able to find it in there. I'll definitely give you the link so that we can like post that on socials. But that's one thing that we're really pushing right now is the funding, so that we can kind of see how our next episode's gonna go. You know, like are we? I mean, honestly, like I said, I got a new job, so that if we don't get enough funding, I can support it. Like I believe this so much. I left my job of 3 years to get something else so that I can A, advance, but also B, afford to do what I feel like God put me on this planet to do. So that's what I want to promote for there for sure is the GoFundMe. But please like our pages. We have a Twitter account. We have a Facebook account. We have Instagram. It's all Black Wins, BLK Wins. Actually, Twitter is _ Black Wins. Someone else had Black Wins already. So that's the only different one. And then just like our stuff. Please share it. We just want to get the word out, especially too, like the word out and the donations is like really what we're focusing on right now. So that by the end of our campaign, we can just start knocking out our first or our second episode.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on everything. I'm glad that you're healthy and you're doing well and your new
Thank
position
you.
and everything sounds so good. So everybody support Black Wins. You'll be seeing the Glow Up doing a lot of support behind it as well, because this is definitely something we stand behind. But yeah, Jazmyn, thank you so much. Don't be a stranger to the show. Let everyone know where they can follow you at as well.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Jazzy Red 1 _. That's on my social. Oh, I guess in Clubhouse too. If you guys still do that, I don't as much anymore, but that's where you can find me as well. Thank you for having me today.
Of course, Naomi, what do you have coming up? What do we have coming up?
Yes, Real Recognize Real will be back. I'm super excited to talk about some fun new things, as well as we are giving you guys some advice on gifts for your loved one, friends, and even children for Valentine's Day, because we know not everybody has a significant, and sometimes you want to do something crafty, so we've got you covered.
Awesome. Yes, check our socials for that. I got my templates popping off. So if you need help with EPKs, media templates, email templates, all that stuff, I got you covered. So see my socials. You'll see me promoting the shit out of it. And you can find them in my link in bio on my website as well. Well, thank you again, Jazmyn. We really appreciate you taking the time. We'll do everything we can to support Black Wins.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Y'all make sure to rate, review, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Follow us at the Glow Up Cast, and we'll be back next week.
Peace.
Bye.